Today, I'm going to tell you how I evaluate business ideas before I buy them. And I will say there is a massive opportunity right now to purchase a business in the United States. There's over 33 million small businesses in our country, with the average age of a business owner being over the age of 50. This means in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be so many businesses that are looking to transition, either sell or retire, where you can come in and take over an existing business, sometimes without even putting any money down, using owner financing. And there's a massive opportunity for you to not only just start a business, but go take over an existing one and grow it and become a serial entrepreneur of owning multiple businesses. Okay, so my specific approach with buying businesses is buying businesses in the insurance industry. I like to buy insurance agencies. I know about insurance agencies. I've bought them in the past. I'm in that business. It's a great way for me to continue to build my agency, and I buy insurance agencies, and the average age in that industry is actually 59. So there's even a pressing opportunity within my industry for buying businesses. So I'm going to tell you today how I evaluate those and how you can use my same approach in any industry to evaluate buying a business. The first thing I do, number one question I ask is I say, why are you selling? And these are businesses that are for sale or that approach me for me to buy them. I always ask, why are you selling? And the only correct answer, in my experience, is retirement. If the owner is selling for other than retirement, that is a massive red flag. Because if your business is so great, because I've heard people tell me, well, I'm looking to transition into another business, but this business has just been so great for us. We're really not looking forward to getting rid of it, but we just want to transition to something else. Why would you sell a goose that lays golden eggs for you? You wouldn't do that, okay? So that means that there's something going on there. And I have found this out the hard way. I found this out without having to buy a business, but I know there's something going on there, and usually that's a red flag. And now in my experience, I just move on. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense to me, so I'm going to move on. So the number one answer is retirement. So you want to be looking for somebody who's looking to retire. That's why the average age is so high. Don't buy someone else's paper bag full of crap, okay? Number two, I look how I evaluate things. I'm going to go now into the evaluation of the specific business. Let's say that I've had that initial contact and it looks like that, that's a good answer to me. I'm interested in looking further. How do I actually evaluate the business? Okay. First thing I look at is deal structure and the numbers and the cash flow, the income statements, the tax returns. I go through the due diligence, okay? So the deal structure is the owner open to different creative avenues, okay? That could be owner financing. That means, hey, let's agree on a purchase price of $500,000 or $1 million, and I will pay you back plus interest directly to you over a span of 10 years. Why would an owner do that? Well, number one, they're going to save money from a tax perspective. Number two, they're getting more money on the purchase price than they would if they took it all at once. And it's in a tax-deferred way because it's getting paid over a number of years. Another structure is complete financing. I pay 100% for the business, and I take it over right away, or I go get a loan. The third thing is I could pay part of the purchase price in equity in my company. That means if my company is valued at $5 million and I purchase him for $1 million, and let's say I'm going to give him 25% of his share price or his purchase price in equity in my company. So that's $250,000. Let's say my company's valued at $10 million. So that's about 2% ownership in my business. And what you can do there is, if you believe that your ownership in your business continues to increase, he's getting a small portion of your equity, not enough that's going to dictate him doing anything in your business, but now you don't have to shell out capital. You're saving your capital to go buy something else. This is other known as private equity, right? You're giving away equity to increase the total machine for sellability down the road. So there's a lot of different deal structures. I want to know what he's open to, what can we do? and I look at the cash flow, which is, hey, let me see what you're profiting now. What are your expenses? Let me dive into those. What are expenses that are not going to be around if I take over this business? What expenses are you wanting me to keep that I may not want to keep? Maybe he's got a secretary or he's overstaffed when I can put it under my staff and we can run that without having those people. Is he going to be okay with me firing those people? Or is she going to be okay with me letting go of some people? I don't know. What's the ongoing expenses? What does that look like? Okay, I'm looking at the cash flow. I always factor in a 30% decrease in revenue. So I look at that person's business and I say, does this still cash flow with enough money that it's worth for me to put my capital at risk? If there's a 30% decline in revenue, if there is, then I'll move on to the next step. The next step is, do I have the expertise, which in my industry I do, in your industry you may not. Do I have the expertise, and can I negotiate a good owner transition? That means when I buy a business, I want the owner to hang around for at least 6 months to a year. And I will pay that owner to do that because I want to make sure that if a problem comes up or if a client is a little confused by the transition or is upset about the transition, that owner can come in and say, hey, look, Nate and his team are going to do a great job. I'm still here for the time being, but I'm telling you they're going to do a great job. When the owner sticks around a little bit longer just for the purpose of keeping sales or to help you put out some fires that they may have left or to help explain why they did things a certain way, it really helps the business viability going down the road. So I'm gonna negotiate an owner transition, okay? And I'm gonna make sure I have the expertise to run this business. The third thing is, does it fit my lifestyle or my ideal company? Okay, I like to run my companies remote. We don't have a formal office. We had a formal office. We're probably gonna have to get one just for meeting purposes, but I love running my business virtually. I don't wanna buy a business that requires a lot of in-person traffic, people coming in, paying cash. So I'm not going to buy an agency that relies on that location. If it doesn't fit that, then I'm going to move on. Or if I can't easily transition within a year or two to 100% virtual, then I'm going to move on. I'm not going to buy that business. Number 4 here, I look at the recurring revenue. In my industry, I don't want to buy a life insurance agency because there's no recurring revenue. Life insurance companies or agencies only make money on the sale, and there's not much recurring revenue. I like to buy business and personal lines. So I want to make sure there's recurring revenue there. I only want to buy businesses with recurring revenue because I know that it's easier to budget. It's easier for me to look at my expenses when I know that 95% certainty that my revenue is going to reoccur that month. The next thing is scalability. Is that business that I'm going to buy going to be able to be scaled past what it is now? Some businesses can't be scaled past the local level. It means you're kind of held within the city or area that you're at. And if the city isn't growing or there's no potential for it to grow, then you're kind of stuck at that proverbial glass ceiling. I don't want to be stuck. I want to make sure there's potential to scale. The next thing is the future value of that company, can it be sold for more than what I'm paying for it now if I grow it? Okay, this means if I'm buying a business, let's say it does $150,000 in revenue, let's say I buy it for $300. If I grow that business to $200, does that $350 then increase to $400? If it doesn't, then I'm not really buying future value. I'm kind of buying what I'm paying for it now, which is basically kind of a static investment. I don't want that. I want to be able to say, okay, if I come into this existing business, grow it, is the purchase price going to be more than what I'm buying it for? That's an investment. It's kind of like real estate. The longer you have the property, the more the loan goes down. Loan goes down, the more value of the property is if the value continues to increase. Same thing with buying a business. I want the value of that business to continue to increase as I grow it. If it doesn't happen, then I'm not going to buy it. Okay, so then the next thing here that I'm going to answer, ending in this video, is how do you find these businesses? How do you find businesses for sale? How do you find the right owner? How do you get in front of people? And in my book, Your Next Business, How to Find a Business Idea or Buy a Business and Scale It to $1 million, Your Next Business right here. How do you find a business idea? And how do you buy a business? In this book, I go through specifically how to find business ideas and how to find businesses that are for sale, that are actual opportunities in your community. And this book's going to explain everything in detail. I gave you a little bit of an intro today, but this book's only $5 and it'll equip you to not only find your business idea or find a business for sale that's an actual opportunity, but it'll actually teach you how to get off the ground and running and get things going very quickly and scale to over $1 million in sales. So go ahead and get your copy today for $5, just a little tiny $5 investment. This book will definitely be a massive return on investment if you were to implement the things and take the action in this book. The $5 will be nothing compared to your $1 million business. So as always, if you like today's video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.